What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to the edition of The Mail. And this is a very special edition of The Mail because there's quite a bit of stuff here. A bunch of things came in while my camera was gone, and I've been holding on to most of the stuff, not opening it. So I'm calling this Music The Mail, and I got a bit of a gripe going on as well. So I'm going to get into the gripe a little bit first because this is a package I received from a friend of mine. His name is Dennis. And he marked all over the package fragile to the point where he even put one of those stickers on there. Where is it at? There it is. You know, phonographic record inside. Keep away from the sun and heat. Do not bend or crush. So what do you think the post office went ahead and did? They bent the damn box in half. Literally, this was bent like this in my mailbox. So he sent me a really cool 12-inch record that he knew I would like because I'm a huge fan of this band. Mama's Boys. This is a single for the, this is the Crazy EP, or the single for Mama We're All Crazy Now, 4-song EP. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, if all that was happening was the cover was bent, they would have been alright. But no, we cracked the record right in half. So this is absolutely worthless. And of course the post office will take no responsibility for it because they say if you mail things media mail, which is what records usually mail as, media mail, then they take no responsibility unless you buy extra insurance. You know, it said on there specifically fragile, do not crush, and then you crush it and you won't take responsibility for it. That's kind of annoying. Actually, it's piss poor if you ask me. Damn. But it's been a rash with me recently of stuff like that. Got this awesome package from my friend Posse, and I'm just going to move this over in front of the address, but arrived at the station like this. And what does he mean by that? It was like this with a record inside of it. So as you can imagine, the record did not survive. And it was a very rare, very cool record. Again, if the cover was the only thing wrong, because they destroyed the cover basically, but this is a Animalized Tour Kiss bootleg from the 80s. This was released in the 80s. Stockholm, 10/26/84. So very cool in the sense that to me. It came with a booklet with all kinds of black and white photos from that time period. Like I said, very, very cool package, especially for a bootleg. But again, both the records have huge cracks in them. Right there. Unplayable. So, unfortunately, Passy's package was destroyed as well. Now, Passy's a cool guy. He's a VC guy, and the package was packaged correctly with stiffeners. It said fragile all over it. Again, the post office obviously didn't care. I'm starting to think that when they see the word fragile on there, that means break this, please. It's getting annoying. So, get on to the mail. First up is a package from a guy who I've become friends with over the last 2 months, actually, from Norway. His name is JØRGEN. RODLI, I think is how you pronounce the last name. It's RODLI. On Facebook, on YouTube, and he's a VC guy. He's got an incredible heavy metal collection, hard rock collection. Check out his channel. Your jaw will hit the floor if you're into heavy metal and hard rock stuff he has. But again, he sent this box, and I really have no way of showing it without showing the address, so I'll just flip it over. It says VCLT on here, clearly marked fragile on the other side. Somehow the post office managed to, let's see if you can see how that, yeah, something cut right through it, and of course it went right into the records. However, at least this time the records were not completely destroyed, they just got a little dinged up. So, I've already opened this box up, obviously, so I'm going to show you what's in this box that come from my buddy JØRGEN. So basically the only damage that happened was all the records that were in here kind of has a ding on the top where it's bent, but I can live with that, ain't no big deal. The records weren't damaged, luckily. This is the very first Europe album, And this is the European cover. The American cover is weird, actually. 1983, I think this was. And he may have asked me if I have this, but no, I didn't have this. And I listened to this last night, and this is awesome. You know, my discovery of Europe was about the same time as everybody else in the U.S. It was when they became famous with the Final Countdown song, which, frankly, and I don't hate it, but it's not, you know, anywhere near a favorite song. Anyhow, it's cheesy. It's indicative of the 80s and what was wrong with pop metal at the time. But this album is just straightforward hard rock, 70s almost style heavy metal. Huge influence from Thin Lizzy. I'm pretty sure guitarist John Levin, or was it John Norum? John Norum was a huge Thin Lizzy fan, and you can hear it in this. It kind of has that vibe to it. Straightforward, driving, hard rock, lots of guitars, a great instrumental track on here as well. This is nothing like the keyboard-driven stuff that most people know Europe to be. So this is a great album. So now I have their first two albums, and I might actually investigate some stuff after Final Countdown now that I've actually found two albums from them that I really enjoy. Came on with a picture sleeve. And I believe this is on like the CBS label. No, it's on the Epic label. So, that was a very cool item in the box. Addition to the collection. Europe. Next up is a band I had not heard of from Norway called Kraken. Once again, got the ding from the wonderful post office. This was a brand new record when it came to me, unplayed. Gave this a spin last night. Not sure how to describe this band. First band that came to mind when I was listening to this was kind of Prong. But it don't really sound like Prong. It just has that kind of odd, unique individuality like Prong does. There is some very, I don't want to say funky, but maybe groove-based stuff on here. But there's also some thrash stuff, some heavy metal stuff. It's like kind of a mixture of everything. Slightly progressive, if not very progressive at times. And I might as well just take the plastic off so you can see the gatefold. I don't keep shrink wrap on records. So there you go, front cover, back cover. This one was shipped inside the middle, which was nice. Gatefold, lyrics, black vinyl, custom centering, very good stuff. Depending on how long this video is, I may put a little cut of this on there because I've never heard this before. I don't know, I've never seen anybody show it before, but I enjoyed this. It's very, very good stuff. I don't know. I really can't give a, like, you know, progressive metal because you think, you know, Queensryche and Dream Theater and Face Warning when you say progressive metal, and that's not really them. It is progressive metal in my opinion, but it's not like the same as those bands I just described. Then up next, this is Art Machinery by The New Drug, and this is autographed from Jörgen, who was the bass player, I believe. I read about this last night. I'm pretty sure he was the bass player in this band. This is his album, which is very cool because I sent him one of my albums autographed to him. Black vinyl, custom centering. Now this is also very progressive, but very different from even Kraken, very different from any of the bands I just talked about earlier. This is like, I asked him how he described it, and he kind of described it as progressive grunge. I don't really hear grunge. The closest thing I could think of was, Psychotic Waltz. Maybe that along those lines. Just very unique, very good though. Progressive rock with metal leanings. I don't know where there's any. I don't know where the grunge is in this thing. Grunge is never really a style, anyhow. Music. It's like, I mean, Nirvana, you know, is generally thought of as grunge. You're not going to hear any Nirvana on here. So, I mean, Nirvana doesn't sound like Soundgarden. You know, it doesn't sound like Pearl Jam. They're all, the sound is totally different. So, I don't know. I would just call this progressive rock or progressive metal, and it was very good, and I'm very impressed. I really enjoyed it. I will be giving this plenty of more spins. Thanks to Jörgen for autographing it for me, and I will put a link to Jörgen's channel below. He doesn't have many subscribers. Again, if you're into metal, his channel and his collection will blow you away. Also, real quickly, he sent a couple of 7-inch singles that I was going to show, but I think I'm going to save those two and show them in a 7-inch update coming up in the near future, because I have some other 7-inch singles I want to show. There was also a 7-inch single that I received from Posse that did survive the broken box, thankfully. So I got to show those then. But he also sent a few CDs, including, I believe, this is a compilation by Art by Machinery. And again, it's autographed on the front cover, which I think is very cool. Norwegian progressive metal. And then he sent this one here, which I haven't, this is one I have not spun yet, but this is Intrigue. And him and I do trade back and forth quite a bit, especially as of recent. And when we send CDs, we do not send them in the case, because you're just paying to ship plastic. So yeah, we don't do that. So anyhow, thanks as well for these. I will give the CDs a spin too. I did listen to all the vinyl first. And then there's this really cool little inclusion. If you know me at all, you know I am a huge Aerosmith fan. And he sent me this this cool Aerosmith keychain. Very cool. I dig that. I like stuff like that. Now I need to find one of those by Thin Lizzy. Man, this would look awesome with the Thin Lizzy logo, wouldn't it? Alright, anyhow. Moving forward. Alright, that's the last of the destroyed packages by the wonderful post office. This next one came from Amazon. Came from the Metal War Guide, who does have a channel on YouTube. Again, I need to leave a link below. If you don't know the Metal War Guide, he also has an incredible collection. He likes metal, but he also likes a lot of outside of metal. A lot of hard rock, classic rock, progressive rock, tons of different stuff. He also has a radio show that he does called Metal War Guide Radio, I believe. And he sent me this box. It's directly from Amazon. All he said was, when you get it tomorrow, he sent me this and said you're going to get it on Wednesday, which I think is Wednesday. Open it right away. So that's what we're going to do right now. I haven't even looked at this. I don't know what this is. This is packaged very well. Amazon sent this big giant box, and inside the box was bubble wrap, and then the actual record box was inside of that. So yeah, there ain't no damaging that unless you run a truck over it or something. This is awesome because he was telling me he got the new Iced Earth, and he said it was phenomenal, and I'm like, man, I want to get that. But I just got back from vacation, and we spent way more on vacation than we needed to. And I said, I'm going to have to wait. But he took advantage of that and sent me this. So, dude, I'm just kind of blown away by that act of kindness. Everybody's raving about this, saying it's one of the best Iced Earth albums in a long time. So I don't think they've really released anything bad, but I love Iced Earth, one of my favorite bands. John Schaefer being the main character in that band. Trying to name, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the new singer. Not that he's new anymore, but regardless. Iced Earth, Incorruptible, 2017. Very, very cool. By the way, spinning in the background very lightly is the very first album by Mass called Fighter. This was actually recorded in the early 80s with Tom, what's his name, the guy who produced a lot of the Judas Priest albums in the 80s. And they had a deal, and the deal fell through, and they held their master tapes. This is like unreleased material of early stuff, and I think it might have even been like 81, 82, that early. I wonder if this had been released at the time, if it would have changed their outcome, because they never became a very big band. 1980 talks about the band being formed in 1980. The album was released in 1982, and it's Tom Allman, Judas Priest fame, which produced it. Tony Platt of Cheap Trick produced the follow-up album, New Birth, which featured a few of the songs that are on here. They were recorded, but there are some songs on here that didn't make the cut. So, love music. I can yammer on forever about this stuff, and I am already at, yeah, I'm not professional at this. I don't know, I can't see the thing. Can't read. Next up, this is a box from Required Fields, another YouTube guy. He doesn't do vinyl videos. He does CD videos. That's what he collects. He collects CDs. He is a metalhead. He loves the heavy stuff. especially thrash and death metal and anything, you know, brutal. Not so much core stuff, but the really heavy stuff in black metal. And he sent me a box of CDs here. I've had this box for like 2 or 3 weeks now, dying to open it up, but I was like, nah, I'm going to wait and do a live opening. Let's see what's in here. Bunch of CDs in here. So what do we got in here? Alright, so we have, I don't know this one at all. What is this? This looks like... Alright, whoever did the graphic design on this thing, blue type on a red background is a bad idea. This is Carcass, but I think this is early Carcass, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think this is a newer album. Sorry, I am not up to speed on Carcass. I kind of discovered the band around Heartwork, and I have the album that followed that one, but that was about... I never really went backwards, so that may be why he sent this, because he's a big fan of, like I said, death metal. And I do like, you know, those albums, so I'll check that out. Oh, Baron Rojo. Do know them. Don't have this record, though, or the CD. I think I do have Baron Rojo on the noelectrometal.com website. Nova Mas is the name of the album. And yeah, I believe they're actually from Spain. Morda Skull, this is their latest album. I showed this in a What's Spinning video not too long ago, so somebody else had sent me this as well. So this is actually a very good album. Straightforward, you know, death metal. There's no forays into core or, you know, metalcore or any of those kind of things, or even, you know, it's not all full of blast beats. It's just good, solid death metal. So I'll probably pass this one on to somebody. This is on Peaceville Records, which Pentagram is also on Peaceville Records. Okay. Oh, another Baron Rojo. What do we got here? Metamorphosis. Very cool. I don't have that one either. I do like Baron Rojo. Then that's more traditional heavy metal. It's not anywhere near, you know, the death metal or thrash metal. Glacier. Now this one I have heard. I don't have anything by them. I do now. But this is traditional heavy metal, and this is good stuff. A little bit of commercial edge to it, but still very good. Nothing. It's not pop metal, but it does have hooks. This one I don't know at all. This is a new one to me. I'm going to assume this is death metal from the cover and the name, but this is Assorted Heap, The Experience of Horror. So I'm looking forward to check that out. If any of you guys watching have made it this far into the video, tell me what you think of this band if you know who they are. And finally, this is a band I have heard of. This is Saltist Prey, and I don't have this one either. So these are all very cool gifts. I don't know much about this album. I haven't heard it. This is, it looks like a 2011 re-release of their album with the entire album on there twice. The second one is remixed in 2011. I always like when they always put the original year with these things released in the back of CDs and records. And when I do stuff for other record companies, I usually try and do that. So there you go. So anyhow, I'm not done yet. More metal in the mail. More stuff. This one I've had for a really long time. I'm talking like a month. And it's been killing me not to open it up, because this came from a guy I consider a good friend in the VC, and he does have a channel, and he changed the name of his channel, and dang it if I cannot remember it, doesn't matter. His name is Andy Borders, and I am going to put a link to his channel below. Andy's Vinyl Den, I think it's the name of his new channel. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Anyhow, after I just called him a really good friend. But yeah, him and I have been working on some projects together. He actually did some artwork for Ultimatum. He did the poster that's inside the new record, and the t-shirt that was sold from Rox Records. He also did the Thin Lizzy Phil Lynott drawing that you've seen me wearing on a t-shirt here and there, and I have hanging on my wall right over there. So, what do we have in here? Right on. This is a CD, a 2-disc CD. This is live Foghat. Looks like a compilation of live material, most of it looking from like 90s, mid-90s, then you've got 77 and 80, and a couple tracks on here from 99. Very cool. I am a huge Foghat fan. Especially love their 70s stuff. Not so much when they got kind of, I don't know if it's called mellowed out in the 80s, but I love their 70s stuff. And the last album, the studio that they did, was really good as well. This is a 7-inch single from Sammy Hagar. Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy and I Don't Need Love. That's very cool. As you guys know, I'm a huge collector of 7-inch singles as well. There's a little note in here. Cool. There was also something in this package that came earlier that I'm using for an artwork for another thing. So I knew that was in here, and thankfully he put it on top, so I had pulled that out. That's why this package is already opened. Oh, there's another CD in here. Oh, this is cool. This is the I Want Out single from Hammerfall, from the what's the name of the album this came off of? Why do I always brain fart when I get in front of a camera? Drives me nuts. I don't know. It was their third record. I just can't remember the name at the top of my head. But anyhow, yeah, this is the I Want Out single. And of course, I Want Out is a cover of the Halloween classic song. That's very, very cool. I'm a huge Hammerfall fan too. Matter of fact, Hammerfall and Iced Earth are two of those bands that I was just heavily into in the late 90s and into the 2000s. And last but not least, now I know this. I didn't know this was coming, but I know where this came from. This is Marillion. This is Clutching Straws. I think this might have been the last album with Fish on vocals. What was the year on this one? 1986. Was that what it was? 1987. And he showed this in a video, and he said he wasn't sure if he liked it or not, so he may pass it on to somebody. And I mentioned that, hey, if you want to trade for that, and this is a long time ago, that I'd be into getting that record because I don't have this one. So very cool. I haven't heard this in 20 years, so I can't tell you much about it. I'm pretty sure this is typical for, you know, mid-80s Marillion progressive rock. Marillion are not a metal band whatsoever. They're just a progressive rock band. They kind of have that 80s sound, though. It's not a 70s progressive rock. It's an 80s progressive rock. But very good album from them, as I recall. And maybe some of you guys know this record and can tell me a little bit more about it. But so there you go. So thank you, Andy. I appreciate those. You didn't have to send anything, but I'm obviously glad you did. All right, so one more. Told you there was a lot in this one. This is going to be a long video. This box is built like a tank, and the post office didn't destroy it. This comes from Corey's VC channel. Corey's a guy I've known for the entire 3 or so years that I've been in the VC, and yeah, this box is like, let's see if I can show you this thing without showing his address. So here's the box. It's built like a tank, and then on the inside of it, he's got stiffener upon stiffener, and then wrapped in bubble wrap. So there you go. All right, so what do we have in here? Oh, right on. This is Phil Keaggy, Play Through Me. Okay, now this is not metal whatsoever. This is contemporary, I don't know, I guess you call it rock. What was this, 1980? What year was this? 79, something in that area? But yeah, Phil Keaggy was a guitarist from Glass Harp. This is one of his many, many solo albums. Great guitar player, whether it be electric guitar or acoustic guitar. His Master Musician album is one of my all-time favorite albums. And I don't have to Play Through Me, so on vinyl. I have it on CD. Glad to have it on vinyl. That's very cool. Okay, next up, this is another guy you've seen me show in videos. This is Keith Green's Play Through Me. Still in the shrink with the original hype sticker on it. Very cool. This is on the let's see what this is on the Last Days. Was this, what record company was this on with? Hang on a second. Picture sleeve, which I will take out of the picture sleeve and put in a regular sleeve to keep it from getting. Yeah, it's on PGR Records. Pretty good records. Now Keith Green was popular in the early '80s, and he was on a decent label, a Christian label, and was, you know, making good money. And he didn't want his people to charge. Well, he didn't want to charge people for his music. He wanted to be able to give it away, which is, you know, if the message is that important to him, I can understand why he wanted to give it away. So he asked to leave his big record company, and they let him go. And he started putting things on his own record, pretty good records. and he would, if you wanted the record, he would give it to you. If you could afford to pay for it, he asked you to pay for it, or give a donation or something. So yeah, so that was his ministry. That was what he did, which I think is awesome. You know, I mean, he was living the life he was preaching, which is a pretty rare thing. So very, very cool. Where'd it go? There it is. And this is actually his kids, who are all grown now, on the back. Of course, Keith Green died, and I think it was, what, 1982, in a horrific plane crash. So, and then the last one here is For Him Who Has an Ear. This is also Keith Green, and I love Keith Green's music. Now, that's his wife there, Melody, I believe her name was, and she continued on his legacy and his ministry for many years, and it probably still does after he passed away. But again, I think this is on PGR Records, pretty good records. And here is the picture sleeve. Let's just check and make sure it's on Pretty Good Records. I'm pretty sure it is. No, this is on Sparrow. So this was one of the ones that was on his label, Sparrow, who had huge distribution back then. And let's see if I can find a year on this one here. Of course not. No year. Anyhow, 1977. This was 1977. So very cool. Thank you, Corey. Funny thing is, Corey and I are both huge metal fans and prog rock fans and 70s rock fans. So those records are pretty much outside of what he would normally send me, or that he, that he listens to, or I listen to. But I love those artists. So it is what it is. I have those. I actually have those albums reviewed on No Life Till Metal. So you can see that it's not just metal. So I like all sorts of things. So there you go. Bit of a gripe about the post office, who is just really irritating the heck out of me with destroying my packages. And some vinyl updates and some mail. The mail. So thank you for watching. If you knew any of this music, especially the ones that I didn't know, appreciate the comments letting me know what you think. That's it. Have a great day. God bless. Stay strong.